Reverend William Ancient woke up to a morning like any other. Stepping out of his home in Upper Prospect, an eerie quiet filled the air. He had planned to meet one of his parishioners for breakfast, but they were nowhere to be found. In fact, most of the men from the community had vanished. Reverend Ancient soon pieced together the dramatic events of that morning. Driven by curiosity, the clergyman rode down to the wreck site. By the time he arrived, survivors crowded the shore, huddled around small fires. Both rescuers and the rescued looked exhausted. The wreck itself was almost swallowed by the water. Floating debris and scattered bodies surrounded the once mighty vessel. Amid the devastation, Ancient spotted two figures still alive, shouting and waving from the ship's rigging. The rescuers told him that it was still too dangerous to attempt a rescue. The survivors, far up in the ropes, were too difficult to reach in the dangerous conditions. Ancient refused to accept this. Without hesitation, he gathered a small crew and rowed out toward the wreck. Even in daylight, the journey was perilous. Ancient's team rowed alongside the sinking ship, its hull battered mercilessly by the waves. As they neared the mast, Ancient saw the petrified body of a woman in the rigging. The high perch that had once offered safety had become an icy tomb for many. He needed to rescue the two survivors, First Officer Firth and Mr. Charles Flanley. Despite Ancient's pleas, Officer Firth was too scared to crawl down from his perch. He could not swim. But Mr. Flanley seized the opportunity and let himself fall into the waves. Ancient's team fought through the swells to reach him. And almost insensible was I when a fisherman's boat pushing up to me took me in, and I distinctly remember being landed on the shore and carried to a fisher's house. Charles Flanley. With Mr. Flanley safe, Ancient called up to Officer Firth, the last man alive on the sinking wreck. Firth refused to jump. William Ancient, the small-town reverend, leapt onto the sinking ship. He was determined to rescue Firth, even if it was the last thing he ever did. Ancient battled through the powerful water, crawling along the ship's railing to reach Firth in the rigging. There, Reverend Ancient threw him the end of a rope. As the exhausted officer crawled down, his legs gave way and he plunged into the sea. Ancient held tightly to the rope as Firth's body was battered against the wreckage. The clergyman summoned all his strength and hauled Firth back into the rescue boat. By the afternoon, all the survivors were safely on land. The people of Terrence Bay watched in stunned silence as the colossal ship finally broke apart and rolled into the shallow sea. They had risked everything to save these poor strangers, knowing, in a very human way, that they would have done the same. I think I should like to live in a country whose people, high and low, rich and poor, are so kind as I have found the Nova Scotians. While I live, I shall especially remember with gratitude the kindness of those poor fishermen's families at Prospect. Unidentified American saloon passenger, April 4th, 1873.